Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I have my producer right next to me.
Hell yeah.
Is deeply focused, looking at the birds outside, making sure there is no interruptions.
Yeah.
No car beeps, no nothing. There will be no interruptions. Our studio is focused and intense.
Right. There are no distractions.
One of the things that haunts me is, and I think about this often, mainly more so when we first started recording, is the idea that there are actual people in this world, primarily podcasters, who sit in the same room with their co-host and can look at them in the eyes.
Could not be me. Could not be me.
I would rather die.
Yeah.
I would rather die, actually.
No, I think that's valid. And I like watching the whole movement of video podcasts and stuff. Obviously it's had a big boom in the last few years, and I love it, right? I think it's great. It's a cool vibe, but I'm I could never. First of all, to get to look camera ready to record this?
No.
Absolutely not. And to have to look you in the eyes?
That.
Yeah.
I don't want to be perceived.
No. Bless them and their hearts. Could not be me.
Especially because, not to ruin whatever kind of fantasy that you all have when you're listening to this. Hi, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hey.
But most of the time when I am sitting here recording, my eyes are closed and I am playing with a fidget. There's something about even looking at our episode notes feels like making eye contact with you. And I can't do that. That sometimes feels like too much intimacy, so I can't.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that has something to do with the fact that we've never met in person. And most of my vision of you in my head is of being a candle, which is what your image in my phone is.
Oh, sure, yeah. Gotcha.
And so when I imagine this in my head of being in a podcast studio, it's like having a conversation with a anthropomorphized candlestick.
Right. And talking to Tom from MySpace. And that's our dynamic as co-hosts.
Which, honestly, hilarious.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Engaging.
Right. Checks all the boxes.
So that's me being vulnerable today. I'm going to stop being vulnerable. Hi, welcome into the Twilight.
We did it. It's time to not be vulnerable. Our walls are up.
My quotient.
We are not going to... They will never break
walls
down.
Up. Masks up.
We are impenetrable.
Yes, correct. Hi, how are you?
I am good. I'm vibing.
Ooh.
I, just living my best life. Trying to, at least. We're here.
That's all we can hope for.
Exactly. Right. Trying. We're out here. We're figuring it out. This might be a little sacrilege. A little blasphemous. But I kind of want to bring another podcast to the space. Is that allowed?
Ooh.
Will I get arrested?
Of course it's allowed. We make the rules.
Will I go to podcast jail?
I don't want to know what podcast jail is.
Yeah, but if podcast jail exists, I've lived
honestly,
there.
I think it's a podcast convention is what podcast jail is.
Ooh, yes. PodCon is podcast jail.
Yeah. Which to me right now that would be the equivalent of hell. So
yeah. I have recently, and I've been kind of not in my podcast era recently, sure, because it's mostly was with my commute, which I don't have anymore, and
Yeah, rip.
But I'm back in it with Normal Gossip, which is the best thing I've ever listened to in recent years, besides our lovely voices.
That's true. You do have to listen to us. I'm sorry.
It's true. But Normal Gossip is literally a show about this one host brings in, a guest or two and brings in submissions of like one long piece of gossip for like a friend of a friend or whatever. Like has like an inbox full of like normal, like regular people gossip, like not blind items, not like celebrity shit, like regular people and their family drama or their relationship drama or whatever, and like makes it go for the whole hour of like diving you and these guests into that world and like which decisions you would make or like how you would feel in it. And every single one of them is the wildest story I've ever heard in my life.
This is everything to me.
It's so good. It's like, you know, super like low stakes, but also sometimes incredibly high stakes. It's incredibly like, it's not, you know, celebrity shit. It's regular people. It's fabulous. Like the way that she like produces the story and like tells it for like the whole time is wild. And also it's one of those shows that like takes breaks. Like they are very consistent in terms of like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like a short season and then we'll take off for a month or two and make sure that we have like, we're not burning ourselves out or whatever. So like,
damn, what's that like?
Right. And so the most recent season like just started a few weeks ago, which is great.
Okay.
And it's very easy to catch up on because there's not a lot of episodes, but they are all delightful. And it's grand. I love it.
Okay, I have so many questions.
Yes.
Do the guests bring goss?
Yeah, so usually the conversation starts with like their personal relationships to gossip, which is fabulous. Like they're like, oh, did you always like gossip as a kid? Were you always someone who like kept people's secrets, whatever, like that kind of stuff? And their relationship over time. And then they like dive into the story, the actual gossip of the episode, and then like have their conversation about that. But like they start with their own relationships to gossip, which I love.
Oh my God. Okay, next question. Are they stories or are they also asking for advice?
No, they're fully complete stories. Like they are, it's not, There's no advice, there's no questions. It's like, this is something that happened to me or someone I know or something. And just see it and play it out exhaustively.
Okay, last question.
Yes.
Is this podcast as good or better than the TikToks of people making like slime or jewelry where they get submitted gossip stories?
Oh my God.
And they just,
I love those. Yeah.
Share those.
Those are so funny because it's like the most like horrible things you're hearing in like the text-to-speech woman like on TikTok saying, and then you're just watching this person like do slime or whatever. It gives me not as chaotic of vibes as that, but it does scratch the itch that does, if that makes sense.
Oh my God.
I'm always into, you know, gossip. I love gossip, but
Same.
You know, I highly recommend. It's a great time.
Amazing. You should submit an invoice to them.
Yeah, right. I'll be like, hey, you can pay us, but also maybe put us on your show. That would be fun.
Oh my God, I have so much gossip.
Right. How are you doing, my dude?
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, congrats.
It's still not summer.
Kind of fucked
in
up.
These parts. It is kind of fucked up. I'm oscillating between like, I'm glad that our soil is getting this rain for the inevitable like smoke season that we will be getting at some point.
Sure.
But also like I would like to get some sun in my bones at some point.
Yeah.
So when is that coming?
Right. Please.
Like I bought an AC unit because we have heat waves now because of, you know, the life that we were born into. And now will I need it? You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I have a happy thing that is actually because of you.
Ooh,
which is
yes.
lovely and great. So after our episode last week, I immediately went and watched Fire Island.
Hell yeah.
And I cried through it like I knew I would. Happy tears, of course, not not something that would force my mom, Allison Bechdel, to get on Twitter.
Yeah.
And tell everyone to shut up because you made mom mad. But it was lovely and great. Here's the thing, though. I might have fallen in love a little bit.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you know anything about me, you know that I love a Mr. Darcy type character.
Mr. Darcy type.
See why we have a Twilight podcast. And Mr. fucking Conrad in Fire Island was someone I had never seen before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who's this snarky little twink that is so soft and pure?
Yeah.
I need to find out everything that he's been in. And the answer was none things.
Right.
Other than one show.
Yes.
So obviously I texted Cody and was like, so I might need to get Netflix now and watch How to Get Away with Murder. And Cody said, well, sorry, because Conrad's the same person in that.
Yeah.
So my happy thing this week is How to Get Away with Murder.
Welcome. Continuing the long tradition of me telling you about a show many years ago, or telling you to watch a show many years ago, and you going, yeah, sure, and then watching it 5 years later and being like, hey guys, have you heard about this?
Have you heard about this? The show's so good. Here's the thing, right? I'm a slut for a Shondo show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my usual, like, you know how people on TikTok are like, you know, things are getting bad when, like, you aren't showering, you have, like, depression water bottles next to you and stuff.
Right.
For me, that's, like, when I start watching Grey's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the telltale sign.
Because that show is, like, a comfort show, but it's not a good comfort show for me.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be sad.
Right.
Which is a shame because Shonda's a really good television writer. Mm-hmm. And that is it's so nice to be able to watch her do television in a way that doesn't make my sadness worse.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about the show going into it.
God.
Other than I'm going to be able to watch Conrad in it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I didn't know. All of these people are awful.
Yes.
And that's so important to me.
Yes, it's crucial.
And also, fun little shocker to me that makes this show so much more important. Annalise is, she's not straight. Yeah. And that was I realized that this was an audio medium, so I was, like, flicking my wrist, and you can't.
Right.
See that.
She's a little,
Yeah. And the show is very important to me. You all know that, because you've seen it years ago.
You're the last person on earth to see it, so.
I'm the last person. The last person working at Netflix is like, why the fuck is this one person in 2022 watching How to Get Away with Murder? What the fuck is wrong with this person? Everyone is in it because the show was obviously filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
I can recognize everyone because this is a Shonda show. But it's lovely and great and very easy to watch because I love crime.
Yes.
And it's very wild to see fucking Gilmore Girl in it.
Yes. Oh my God.
She's so sad.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah. She's going through it in that one.
And also Wes / Harry Potter boy. Mm-hmm. And also fucking we talked about him from Archive 81, and I was like, that thick guy, and you were like, who is that? And then I realized you were like, oh, he was in How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes.
And now it makes so much more sense because he's like such a douchebag.
Yeah, the red string. It's all connecting.
Yeah. Anyways, the show is amazing. You all know that. I didn't know that. And it's lovely to be able to see. I know. You're watching it too. He's Oliver in this. And he's such a just amazing person in this. So it's great. Everyone is awful. And that is very important to me and my interests. So.
Yeah,
thank you,
absolutely.
Shonda.
Thank you, Shonda. I'm so excited for you in this journey.
We have a wild little bit of current events here. Would you like to start us off?
Hell yeah. It's Case 2 Corner. Wow, 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 wow. We have talked about this a few weeks ago, perhaps.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Some fun updates.
We have an update on the Kristen Stewart gay ghost hunting show. And that's officially...
That we are not consulting on, weirdly enough.
It's kind of fucked up. Maybe something got lost in the mail. I don't know. You know,
I'm not too late.
I'm not going to post any blame. Also, definitely not too late. We are still available.
Right.
They've put out a casting call. Also, I love how whenever Kristen does anything, because she is not online, she will just do any news through her hairstylist's Instagram account, which is just the best. I love that so much. It's very funny to me.
She is my favorite.
Yes, it's fabulous. And posted a little video on her Instagram about doing a casting call for this gay ghost hunting show.
I feel like any time that she posts content online, it's either through her hairstylist or she goes on fucking He Will Not Be Named's radio show.
Yeah.
Like, her publicist could post this stuff anywhere.
Anywhere.
And instead she's like, no, it's okay. I'll just, like, have my hairstylist do
Yeah,
it.
no. She's already got an Instagram. Why even go through a press release? Why?
Right, exactly. I want to know who made this image.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to me.
Yes.
It looks like an advertisement for a haunted house.
Yeah.
Which means that they did it correctly.
Right. This is definitely a wild casting call. It's like, it looks very straight out of 2008 party flyer, you know, in a great way.
Yeah.
Even the fact that it's like, executive producer Kristen Stewart. Yes, that one. Like, hilarious.
As if there were another one.
Right. We know.
There are so many different colors on here.
Right. Correct.
There's a lot going on. It makes me very excited that they are still moving forward with this.
Yeah.
Because I know that she has like 6 different projects going on right now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines on this is, a major streamer is now seeking the queerest and most fabulous experts in the paranormal space for a brand new, outrageous ghost hunting extravaganza. Why are we not on this?
Yeah, first of all, correct. That's fucked up. We should apply.
Ghost hunter, check. Medium, check. Psychic, check.
Sure.
Historian, check.
Yeah.
Also connected to the LBG.
Yeah.
LBG, excuse me? I'm in the queer.
The LB CEO. Connected to the LGBT community is the funniest thing I've ever... Like, what does that mean?
Like, are you, like, linked to someone? Like,
Right.
Are you accidentally handcuffed to someone? What does that mean?
Are you bonded? Are you shadow kissed to a gay person?
Oh, did you make a blood promise to someone? Oh, no. I have questions, but God, I want to see this be made into an actual show.
God,
so
I need
bad.
it so bad.
Hey, speaking of blood promises, the first kill reviews are out now.
Yes, they are.
I'm not gonna say too much.
Right.
I just wanted to acknowledge to you all, we know.
Right.
We're gonna be watching it.
We will be talking about it.
We will be talking about it, so we know that. From what I have seen from screenshots so far, the budget is lacking.
Yes.
Which is interesting, I would say, seeing as this is on Netflix, and Netflix has made it very clear how much they spend on certain projects.
Right. It's like, well, they put all their money into, you know, the titular show, which I will not name because fuck that show. But like, they no more monies. They got no more monies. It's all that show. And fucking, you know,
Yeah.
Red Notice or whatever, I guess.
The screenshots have made me very curious. And I just wanted to just announce to people, we know, we've seen it. We've seen the announcements anyways, and we will be watching it. And I've just seen, there was specifically one screenshot that I saw of Taylor Swift's face on a blanket. And I just, and it just looked haunting.
Yeah.
And I need to know more. This last piece is less news itself and more of an opportunity for us for posterity.
Right. Yes. Let the record show that we are on this, and when this does happen,
That
we have said it.
Right. As usual, I would say Screen Rant is screen ranting.
Is making their theories. It's on their bullshit.
The publisher, I think it's Cathal Gunning, is like, you know what? I need to say this. I don't care that you broke your elbow. They posted this piece being like, I think the best spinoff would be a Cullen family prequel series. I disagree, but that's fine. What I think is most interesting right now, as we are facing off another recession, is the fact that Lionsgate is moving forward with their Hunger Games prequel right now. Mm-hmm. And what that means for us specifically. And so I just want to say, for future us, and I guess for our audience, I'm curious about their opinions as well. Like, are we actually going to get prequels?
Is the time coming? Will something, is the vibe shifting for this to be a possibility?
Cody, I think it's going to depend on the buzz and success of the trailer.
Yes.
For this Hunger Games prequel.
Mm-hmm.
But
like, do people still care enough about it? And do
people still care?
Like, what's the litmus? And I think that obviously people with the Twilight Renaissance, there's much more of a documented, like, yes, that is something that people will still buy shit for. Yes. And with, Hunger Games, I'm sure also probably to some extent, but definitely not the same level. But if that pops off and people setting a precedent.
Well, and as you were saying, like, Percy Jackson is being adapted.
Right, we're getting a lot of...
like, adapted well.
Right.
So I think that there is interest with our age range. I know you have a lot of feelings about Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
There is interest for our age range. There is money that can be put into it, both from a consumer and from a production standpoint. Mm-hmm. The CGI is better.
Yes, right.
I just am curious about how many executives are in meetings right now having this exact conversation of, like, are we going to do it? Are we going to open the vault? Are we going to let Stephanie come back? Because you have to know right now that Stephanie is watching Under the Banner of Heaven.
Oh my God.
And is like, listen, Mormon stuff's hot right now.
Right. Let me back in.
You have to let me back in.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm terrified of. You know what I mean?
Do you think she gets Under the Banner of Heaven? You know what I mean?
There's absolutely no way,
I think she understands what that whole thing's about.
You have to know that she probably watched. Why are you screaming? Do you not like this Stephanie Meyer slander? You have to know that, like, Gil probably emailed her and was like, hey, what's up, Stephanie? It's your boy. I'm in this. And she probably watched, like, the first episode and was like, hey, I recognize this. And then was like, hey, wait a second. This isn't, like, good. This isn't, like, a pro LDS thing.
Right.
I doubt she watched the whole thing.
Ugh, yeah. That's fair.
So, that's my personal opinion.
So, let the record show that if this happens, we've been on this. We've known this.
Especially because, like, remember the Lionsgate theme park?
Right.
I think that's in, it's in Asia, too. You know they want more content.
Right.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm worried about it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
About it. We have stuff. There's stuff that has happened.
Oh my God.
In Ferrero Rocher's world.
Ferrero Rocher's sick and twisted mind.
It's Easter. You know what that means.
We love subtlety in this house.
She loves a good... I do remember that Easter happened in one of the previous books. And she does love an opportunity to talk about resurrection.
Right.
In here.
God.
So, when we had last talked about... what the fuck is this book called? Oh yeah, Blood Promise.
Right. Yes, that's the book we were reading.
Rose was very much like picking petals and was like, should I stay here? Should I leave? Should I stay here? Should I leave? Mm-hmm. So
should I stay or should I go, baby?
Yeah. So where are we at in chapter 13?
So like you said, it is Easter, so that means it's church time, baby. Big, fancy church celebration.
Church time.
Church time. We love a church time. it's this massive, like, obvious Russian church, huge, tall ceilings, everything's fancy. There's incense.
Small town, big church.
Small town, big church, baby. Notice that there's, like, kind of a fun mix of folks of, like, Moroi, Hampiers, humans, you know, interesting crowd going on. Notices that Abe is not there. Rose notices to Victoria, says that Abe is not there. Which is wild, because Abe has always been on her fucking back, over her shoulder, just being like, hey, bestie, get the fuck out of here.
But on Easter, he rests.
He rests, so that's fine. That's his own thing.
Also, Rose is very underdressed, because she did not bring Easter clothes.
Right, she is not Easter prepared for this. Victoria's nice enough to lend her, like, a blouse, which is very sweet. But she's just vibing. She's like, I'm not really Easter ready. I'm not as dressed up as everyone else here in comparison.
There's one of my favorite things about this church is how much incense they're burning.
It's deranged. It's like, it's all over, all around, just overwhelming.
They said, you got asthma? We don't care.
Yeah, sorry.
Not our problem.
Yeah.
The fact that Rose even says at some point, like, she could see the incense in the air.
Yeah,
that's how
that's like a cloud. You can see it. Victoria and
unbelievable.
Rose have this nice little moment of Rose bringing up Abe again and being like, yeah, and Victoria being like, hey, are you good? Like, I just want to make sure that he's not, like, scaring you and, like, you get hurt or something. Like, I want to make sure you're good. And Rose was like, no, it's cool. He's just checking up on me. You know, he just cares. You know, he's just a nice guy. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just
such a shitty liar.
And it's like, bestie, this guy literally is trying to, like, drag you back to the U.S. or kill you or have someone kill you.
Yeah, or worse.
Or worse. So, like, we don't have to lie here. It's okay. Because Victoria knows. They know if there's shit going on. Whatever.
Right.
The service starts. We have this fucking angel in the
Rose
rafters.
is gone, girl.
Yeah, Rose immediately disassociates because I mean they're like mostly speaking in Russian too, so like she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She's like, it's church, whatever. I get it.
Right.
I know the whole vibe. Like I know what's going on.
In her defense, there's a lot of incense.
Yes,
she doesn't know the language.
Right.
And also, church isn't really her vibe.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So like whatever, you know, she's just being there to be there. Okay. She sees this angel, and it automatically triggers this sense memory of a past moment with her and Dimitri. And this scene, folks, I can't. I wanted to throw my Kindle into the lake and break it. I'm so mad at her for doing me like this.
And this is one of the things that, like, I understand. I know why she had to include Lissa in these flashbacks, like, or not in the flashbacks, but, like, in the memory stuff. Mm-hmm. But I wanted more of these flashbacks. Like, I wanted more of getting content that we know happened,
but didn't get.
We haven't actually read. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just so, like, this stuff makes me so sad, and I want it. I want more of it.
Yeah. So they're on this weekend trip, Idaho. It's winter, snowing. Snow's all over on the ground.
Yeah.
They take a little pit stop to get gas and get some food, and they're up in this beautiful mountains. And Rose is like, hey.
They get, like, important thing to note about this story.
Yeah.
They get gas station, like, sub sandwiches.
Yes, crucial. And
yes, go on.
Rose goes down in her, like, little puffer coat into the snow and just starts making a snow angel. And Dimitri's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna freeze. Why are you doing this? And she's like, I'm having fun. Do you even know what a snow angel is?
Is that a crime?
Yeah, I'm allowed to make a humble little snow angel.
Right.
And she, you know, gets up and is like, you know what? I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm not cold. I'm not too cold. I'm okay. I can handle it. Whatever. And he's like, okay, let's go. And she's like, well, you have to make a snow angel too, because I did it. So you should also. I think that's only fair that you also do a snow angel.
Right.
And he gets on the ground in the snow and just kind of like lays there, which is hilarious. And Rose goes, hey, you have to like move your arms. You gotta like do, it's not like an angel. If you gotta do the motions to make it look like an angel. And he's like, I know what a snow angel is. It's so delightful.
I love this because she's like, if you don't move your arms, you're gonna look like a chalk outline.
Right, like you're gonna look like a crime scene, and that's not what Snow Angel is. So
yeah,
let's do that. And he like begrudgingly makes little,
just angrily having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the most pained expression on his face for like having a good time, and just being like, I hate this. And it's so cute. And they have this conversation about how, like, you know, you'll look back on moments of your life and think about them differently. And things will just, you know, something will take meaning. And it'll just be like that for the rest of your life. That things will always be changing. Which, I hate that. Hate how accurate and sad that is, given his situation.
It's so messed up.
It's so fucked.
Because this was like not right after, but it was nearly after the ski resort stuff.
Right.
And so that was something that she was bringing up. And one of the things that I love is their conversation about, I think Rose is the one that brings it up of like, do you think it would be nice to like have a cabin up here?
Yeah.
Of just like out in the woods where no one can find you.
Maybe some TV, internet.
And I love that Dimitri's like, well, I would think that would be nice. But I know you and I think that you'd get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like need something to do. And of course Rose is like, first of all, fuck you.
Right. First of all, how dare you?
Because you think that do you think that it's like because I have a short attention span? And he's like, first of all, no, I know you better than that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I know that you need something to like drive you.
Yeah.
And if you just had to like sit still, you would not feel like good about yourself.
Yeah.
And it just hurts so bad to know that he knew her so well, and that she is remembering this while trying to decide, like, what do I do with my life right now?
Right. What's the actual purpose?
No, knowing full well that, like, and I think Abe says this in the next chapter too, but like, this isn't her life. Like, she can't just stay in a small town. That's not, it's not her truth.
Right.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I love it, but like, I'm mad about it.
I'm so pissed. And they like look at their perfect little snow angels, and Demetrius is so big. Just so precious, and I hate it.
I also thought it was interesting that Rose added the halos.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, Miss, religion doesn't matter to me, but I'm going to add these halos.
Yeah.
Just in case. Like, okay, ma'am. Sure.
Great. Love that.
In a very subtle way.
Yep.
I loved that when she came to afterwards, I mean, she wasn't, like, passed out, but, like, when
she just fell asleep.
I mean, listen, who hasn't? You know what I mean?
Listen.
But when she, like, came to during the, like, listening to the priest again, there were only, like, a couple words that she knew in Russian.
Mm-hmm.
And Frere Rocher says the ones that she knew were life, death, destroy, eternal, and resurrection. Ma'am?
Hey.
Hello?
Pretty macabre words to recognize in Russian. She's obviously not learning Russian, but the fact that those are the ones that she is like, yep, got it, know that one, is very funny.
It's very on the nose. I would say.
Yes, wink wink.
But not surprising.
We get church ends.
The rest of this conversation is wild.
Yeah, we get some wild fucking dudes showing up here in this space.
These weirdos.
Rose and Victoria are just kind of like bumbling around, chatting with people, whatever. Rose is trying to follow the conversation. Stuff. You know, get all the church tea. And we see our lovely dude, Nikolai, who's obsessed with Victoria. Is so in love with her. And she's like, yeah, okay, you're cool, I guess.
It's her Mason.
Yes, it's literally her Mason. And he's like, oh my god, are you still going to this party? I would like to see you, blah, blah, blah. And Victoria's like, oh, sorry, I'm like so busy. We have family plans. And Rose stops herself from being like, what the
homework before school starts.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I have a lot of books to read. You know, like, I just have things to do. I'm just so busy, you know? But maybe next time, for sure. I'll see you at school. So, like, don't even worry about it. We'll see you at school.
Right.
And Rose this whole time is like, we don't have plans. What are you talking about? Am I not invited to plans? What's going on? And these fucking dudes walk up. These 3 dudes.
These greasers.
Yeah. They're Hampiers. They walk up and are like, hey, dude, I thought you might be here. What the fuck is going on? And Nikolai has very strong emotions about this. He's very caught off guard. He's very angry, almost, like, feels very uncomfortable. Is very unsure.
Yes.
But Rose is like, oh, these guys look like Nikolai. These guys are his brothers. And this feels like a weird situation. I'm not sure what's going on, you know.
Seems like more beef than usual.
Yes, it seems like a lot of beef that's unspoken, you know, but very present in the vibe.
Correct.
And they have a weird fascination with Rose because she's, you know, unpromised or whatever.
Oh, God.
Which is, like, gross. Whatever. And they introduce herself.
It feels
go ahead.
nasty.
It's quite nasty.
Like what you... I know that it's because it's, like, probably not normal. I will reel it. Like, these boys are kind of the same.
Yeah.
But the way that all of these people have talked about it so far have said it, like... in a weird fascination, and they've said it almost like you would say, like, a virgin almost.
Yes.
Like, that it's, like, surprising but also intriguing, and also, like, we have to keep obsessing over it, and it's like, it's really not that big of a deal.
Right, like, this seems pretty normal. It seems like not, like, I know it's not, like, normal, but that's not the wildest thing in the world.
Yeah. Fuck these dudes, though.
Yeah.
To be honest.
They're being very rude about her and Dimitri and the whole battle and stuff, and being like, yeah, I mean, like, you guys didn't really win that battle, did you? Because he's dead. So, like, that sucks. And, you know, you guys are all wimps, and nobody wants to actually fight Strigoi anymore. They just want to, like, hide away and protect Moroi and all that. Like, no one actually wants to do anything. It's a whole mess.
They remind me of dogs, like guard dogs, who bark a lot, but don't do anything.
Yes, a lot of talk, but yeah.
Because there's a point, too, where they're like, maybe, you know, like, we're gonna go back to this city tomorrow and, like, keep fighting Strigoi. And they're very... I guess, like, the complete opposite of both, like, Mark and also, like, the complete opposite of Dimitri. Mm-hmm. And I understand why Ferrero is doing this, because it does help, I think, Rose make the decision of, like, wait, I'm not like these dudes.
Right.
I came here with this opinion, but that's because I didn't actually care if I lived or died when I saw Dimitri.
Right. It wasn't just like a throwaway of everything and didn't care about anything. Came with a specific emotion attached to it.
And I think Victoria even mentions about Nikolai's brothers, like, weren't there like 5 of you when you left last time, and now there's like 2 of you?
Right. Like, what the fuck?
You're not really accomplishing much. You're just going and you don't have a plan.
Right.
So I think that also helps Rose start to make a decision of like, I don't have a plan. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
It's reckless. It's a decision.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, she's at least presented with one decision that she could make.
Yeah. So,
God.
I mean, I think they do end up giving her an address of like, if you want.
Yeah, it's like, hey, meet us at this car. You'll be there. And she's like, you won't see me. And they're like, we'll see about that, you know?
Yeah.
Chapter 14.
The next chapter is an ick for me.
It's a big ick. Definitely, pretty gross to read. She's kind of, you know, obviously leaves that conversation more confused than ever. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? What's going on? And she's like, okay, I want to maybe chat with Victoria. This is allegedly my last night here. And she's going to school. Right. Like, let's have a little debrief. And she's like, sorry, I'm going to this party. And it was like, you said you weren't going. You told Nikolai you weren't going to this party. You didn't want to go to this party. And you had other things going on. What the fuck are you doing? And turns out she is getting hot and ready for a furbo thing, allegedly. There is a dude, and she is like, this is my last chance to see him. I want to look hot. I'm gonna go, and you should come with me. It'll be fun. And we'll just have like a nice little girls' night out before we don't see each other for a while, you know? Be great. Sure. And this whole time Rose is like, oh, I feel kind of bad for Nikolai. He's really, this whole time, she's been apparently with this other guy. And Nikolai's just like waiting in the wings, just obsessed with her, whatever.
Right. It is the place, I think that Rose felt weird about it to begin
yes.
with. And then when Victoria changed into this very revealing outfit,
yes.
she also was like,
there was some red flags getting thrown up there.
And then the next red flag was when they got to this club, which is, she doesn't go in, but the outside and what she her feeling of it is that it's less of a club and more of just a place that you go to like have sex.
Right. And like Victoria describes it as like Baya's secret Hampir world, which is like
okay.
Don't love that.
Don't love that for a teenager.
Right.
Who is with like a man.
Yes.
Who shows up.
Right. And adult Roland. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
For real.
Do not like this man.
No. Bad vibes.
This adult man.
Literally. He is a Moroi. He's a Moroi. He is bad vibes. He is very all over Victoria. The second that Victoria like pulls away to have a conversation with someone, he goes right to Rose.
Ugh,
which is gross. And Rose is like, no. No, I don't. I'm figuring out what this is, and I hate it, and I don't want anyone to be involved in this. This sucks.
Right. Yeah, and also you're nasty.
And also, like, you're nasty and gross, and I hate you, and you suck, so get the fuck out of here.
And that was before she knew what Abe had told her,
right,
too.
Yes. Though already getting, like, bad vibes from this, before getting crucial information. And she's like, shit, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get Victoria out of here. You know, let's just hang out. It's our last night together. It would be fun. I would appreciate it. This would be much better. Let's go. And she's like, no, I gotta see Roland. This is my last time to do it for a really long time. We'll stay up all night. Who cares? Whatever. And Rose just like, kind of like walks out of there. Tries to walk out of there. And it's like, fuck, what do I do? What the fuck is going on? And we see our dude, Abe.
Mr. Abe.
And he's like, hey, bestie, miss me?
Hey, bestie.
Miss me? What's going on?
He's like in a tux with tails.
Yes, like full formal wear.
Silvery scarf.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, bestie, just gonna drop this knowledge on you. before I go wherever I'm supposed to be in a full-ass tux.
Right. And it's like, hey, so Victoria she's not she's not succumbed to the dark side of this, I guess, and hasn't been like, in this bad situation yet. But time is ticking, and it will happen. And it's, if we don't stop her. And also, this fucking dude is the reason that her sister was pregnant early as a child. And so he's going, and he wants as like a conquest to get both of them. And also,
that's so disgusting.
It's vile, like horrific shit. And Rose is like, what? Like, why does nobody talk about this? And she's like, yeah, Sonia doesn't talk about this at all. So, and Victoria doesn't know. So she just thinks she's with this dude who like cares about her when he does not. And also is now getting all eyes on you because you're now some close with the family, and that's close enough. And it's awful.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
And naturally, like, there are several things that go through Rose's mind at this time.
Right.
Like, do I go in? Do I kill Roland? Do I go in? Do I drag Victoria out?
Right.
What do I do?
Right.
And Abe is like, Bestie, you don't even have to raise a finger.
Don't even worry about it. I got you.
I got this.
I got you.
Don't even worry about it.
You and me, we're friends, we go way back.
We're best pals.
Yeah. I've always had
the only thing that you have to do is, all you have to do is say the word. And I got this. Just say that you're leaving town and it's all handled. Just say the word.
Ugh.
And she's like, well, fuck.
It's like, and she realizes too that like she
up.
won't have enough time to do anything if she does anything.
Nothing.
Like she can't go back and tell Elena. She can't go in and try to fight these guys. She'll probably get fucked. Like, it sucks. Like, she's in a bad pickle all the time. And Abe has power and can do something, probably. Who knows what his hold on is, all these people.
Yeah, I mean, you don't wear a tux if you don't have powers.
Right, exactly. Like, this guy seems to be running some sort of operation here, because all of his deeds are dirty and illegal. Like, that's kind of his thing.
Right.
And so she's like, fuck, this is my only option. And also, maybe I do want to get out of here anyway, you know? Maybe this decision that makes the most sense practically, and it will help Victoria. And I'm fine with that at this point.
And I think that she ultimately realizes, like, she can't do that if she doesn't... She can't do that to Dimitri's sister.
Right.
Right? Like,
right.
She can't let that happen. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, well, obviously, like, then I'll leave.
Right.
I'll leave.
Yeah.
Fine.
God.
I just hope that he keeps his word.
Yeah, I am scared for everyone involved.
Yeah. Especially because it's like, Victoria's a child. Like, I mean, she's not a child. She's a teenager.
Right.
But
Still
like,
young. Right.
Fuck this dude.
Yeah.
I'm stressed. I don't like it. I don't like any of it.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I don't like it. I want these nasty dudes to get out of here. And this still doesn't say, like, we're about halfway through this book now.
Yeah.
What's Dimitri doing? Where's he at?
Hey, bud.
I just need to...
Miss you, buddy. I know you're undead and everything, but I would like to see your face.
Where are you at?
Come on, man.
We have chapters 15 and 16 next week.
Yeah.
And I imagine, for the sake of the plot, that Rose is leaving at this point. Yeah. So that we can figure out what is going to be going on next.
Hell yeah.
Very curious. Yeah. We have some lovely patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Hold on. My
awesome
dog has failed me. Hello. Thank you to Katie Black.
Ooh. Thank you to Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh. Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Ooh. Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Bow ow. Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Ooh. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ow, ow. Ooh.
Ow, ow.
Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
O'Shea. Thank you to Clara Belikov.
Pew, 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 pew. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh. Thank you to Hannah Dragomir.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Rachel Ashford.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh. Thank you to Samara Rinaldi.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh. Thank you to Tess Avery.
Ooh. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh. Thank you to my mom, your mom, our mom, Kelly Beck.
Mom.
Mom.
Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh. Thank you to Lara Forty.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh. Thank you to Maria Swan.
Pew, pew, pew.
Bam, bam, bam.
Thank you to India Peach.
Ooh. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Pew, 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 pew.
I have a fan fiction for you today that I found. This is by the author Nastia, and it is titled You Made My Daisy, and it was published last year. The summary goes, Dimitri owns a flower shop, and Rose comes storming in one day, slaps $50 on the counter, and says, how do I passive-aggressively say fuck you in flower?
Incredible.
You have my attention. Lissa's 4 far guards took position outside the shop, and her 2 near guards followed us inside. The shop looked small from the outside, and was even smaller in actuality, especially with 4 people inside it. Despite its small size, it was clean, with bright white walls, and it was filled to the brim with flowers. I expected a small shop like this to be run by a little old Maroi lady, and felt my eyebrows reach my hairline when a hampier man emerged from behind the counter. A polite smile on his face as he welcomed us, then seemed to realize who we were and bowed deeply in Lissa's direction. Your Highness, how may I help you? Lissa seemed at a loss for words, and I didn't blame her. It was rare to see hampiers in any job outside of being guardians. Most women would only leave to have children. But it was even more rare for male hampiers to choose a different career path. It was practically unheard of. This man was not only a guardian, he was gorgeous. He was tall, over 6 feet tall, which was odd for a hampier, with classically handsome features, a chiseled jaw, deep brown eyes, and full lips, and his hair was shoulder length, pulled back into a neat ponytail at the base of his neck. From what I could see, he was in shape, his biceps straining slightly at the arms of his black t-shirt, and his chest was filled up nicely. Rose. Lissa poked me in the side, and I jerked out of my stupor, staring at the Adonis in front of me and discreetly wiping at my mouth in case I'd started drooling. His gaze flicked over to me curiously, and then he focused on Lissa again, obviously expecting that she was the one who wanted to purchase something. Remembering why I dragged Lissa into the shop in the first place, I pulled $50 out of my wallet and slammed it onto the counter. How do I passive-aggressively say fuck you in flowers? The man blinked in surprise at my question, glanced at Lissa, who was staring at me like I'd grown 2 heads, then looked back at me. Is this a serious request? I slammed down another 50. Dead serious. End scene.
Wow.
So, I don't know what the context is for why Rose is so angry.
Right.
But if you would like to learn why, there is a story just for you.
Yeah. Ooh, how excited.
And my cats are very excited to find out why. Well, folks, we've given you so many good recommendations. I need to add that podcast.
Yes.
To my Spotify. We have some good things planned.
Yeah.
For later this
it's
summer.
gonna be exciting.
I will tell you that. Yeah. Well, until next week, as we say here in the Pacific Northwest.
Get bit.
And get whipped.
Ooh. Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.